Hello there, I'm Big Alien. I never really realised how much like Santa my intro sounds until I was in the context of a Christmas end-of-year wrap-up. And this is that wrap-up. Wrap-up, because Christmas. It's not funny, it's not a funny joke at all. And I'm playing on firing range in the night. I'm stealthing about, I'm not doing any of that, but I'm playing a night map, which is great. I love it, because it reminds me of the good old Treyarch night maps, especially when I'm playing on firing range with weapons that feel like old school Call of Duty weapons. And I can't clear my nose, and I sound really strange right now. So, this is the end of year wrap up, and I want to talk about the year that I've had and the year around me and things like that. And I don't want to ramble on too much, but I will let you know that this is not the first take, because I spiraled into how I conquered other planets and how I set my spacesuit onto a piece of toast and then boiled some pizza on top of that. See? Random words, they work in a commentary. So, I want to talk about 2018. And firstly, I want to get personal with this shit. This year has definitely been signposted by two events for me. And those two events were proposing to Ashley and quitting my job, which is going to trigger a lot of people. People seem to get very impassioned by my decisions in life, which is, is what it is. Firstly, the proposing to Ashley, the strangest thing about proposing to Ashley this year was that I felt no remorse. And with everything that you do, every big decision, and this is about the biggest decision you can make, one of the biggest decisions is to choose to marry another human. And yeah, it's a big moment, and it's so crazy because whenever when you do these things, even if you buy a games console, there's instant remorse, and there has to be a balance in your brain where you're kind of like, what do you do, man? You're crazy, you're a lunatic, don't throw us into a microwave, that's not good for us. Yeah, it's just, these things you have to have remorse, but I didn't. And I think I hope that I'm very optimistic about that. I think that is very telling of our situation right now. I think that we're a very strong couple personally, and that it's going tremendously well. We're the kind of couple we just sort of call each other dickhead and stuff like that every day and eat ice cream in bed or whatever. It's great. And I think maybe that has something to do with the notion that I went with it, and it was great, and it worked, and it was really good. Now, the other thing that my year has been signposted by is leaving my job, which was a huge decision for me. It was a job that I hated, that had led to things I don't really even want to talk about, but it was the big driving force behind, let's just say, the reason I hadn't posted on this channel for a few years, and the reason I'm returning this year, which is something that I want to talk about in this video as well. But yeah, it was a place I hated, and it was destroying my motivation, destroying my capability to even one thing, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm at university right now studying film, but one thing that I hadn't even really considered is the notion that you go to university, you take all of this information in, and then when you go straight from there into somewhere where you're completely passive, completely brain dead, and just don't want to even use your brain, it really affects your capability to intake and hold on to that information. And coming away from that job has been so beneficial for me this year. It is unreal. This has been a year for me of recovery. As I previously mentioned, there was a period of time where I was just, a complete wreck, so to speak. And then, of course, I found Ashley, and I went to university, and everything's kind of picked up. So 2017 was a year of recovery, whereas 2018 has been more kind of in the direction of trying to ascertain the things that made me so happy in the past and so much more blissful, I guess, in the past, and trying to ascertain those, hold on to them, and just sort of reintroduce them to my life. And I think I have been hugely successful in that aspect, in that I have been going back to cool nerdy stuff that I just love, and sort of accepting. I talked about this a lot in a commentary earlier in this year, and it's kind of the most telling. I think it was called Wasted Hours. Yeah, I think it was called Wasted Hours, with Shinake Fire reference. I think it was the most telling commentary of my year. So if you want to go back and watch that, it was all about the notion that I don't want to adhere to. I think that adhering to and this is going to sound so liberal and stuff like that, but quote unquote, society's preconceptions is a bigger waste of time than just not even focusing on time wasting, just enjoying yourself and reading comic books and playing Halo and stuff like that. And this year I read Fall of Reach, which I adored. I've played almost, actually I think I was at this point 300 hours of the Master Chief Collection. It's definitely the game I played the most this year, and I've absolutely fucking loved it. It's been incredible. I've been achievement hunting. Right now I'm playing a game called Kingdoms of Amalur, which I've always wanted to play, and it's a fantastic game. It's like a single player World of Warcraft clone, but it's awesome. And I've just been getting back into that sort of frame of mind of just enjoying myself and enjoying everything around me and trying not to focus on what's bad in life. And I don't know where I'll be going with this in the future, but it has gone tremendously well. It's been personally a phenomenal year for me, and it's been signposted by those two great events that have made me feel very solid and very optimistic and happy in myself, which is incredible. It's amazing. Myself aside, so everything is going tremendously well. And I've almost finished my sleeve as well, in case you haven't noticed. Actually, no, I do want to continue talking about myself. This channel, what a fucking amazing year. What a year. This has been the best year for Begalius of all time. I've gained almost 3,000 subscribers. It may even be 3,000 by the end of this year. Which is mind-blowing. I'm very close to 4,000. I ended last year with 1,000. I thought 2012, which was when my channel kind of took off for the first time. I'm catching my second win now, because I thought 2012 was going to be completely unmatched with how well that year went, because I really seemed to be, getting legs on this channel and really started picking up with the channel, which felt great. And I thought that I couldn't really get back to that point, but I've surpassed it manyfold. It has been fantastic. The support on this channel recently has been absolutely incredible, and I have to thank everybody for that. What a year. What a year for Begalius. And I got a comment yesterday saying, somebody said, wow, it's a really great video, and someone said, well, they're all great. And it was just one of the best comments I've ever read, just someone who likes my stuff, and I love that. That is so fantastic. So thank you, everybody, for your support on this channel. Outside of personal stuff, it's been an interesting year. Society-wise, it's been atrocious. Politics has been probably the second worst year politics-wise that I've been alive, next to 2016. Everything seems to be everybody seems to be kind of coming to terms with what they did. This seems, a couple of years after everything went down and everything went to shit in 2016, everybody, all of these populists, I think they call them, politicians getting into power, everyone's kind of going, oh shit, we have to deal with this now. Crap, politics has to be the way that it is, but it wasn't, and it isn't, and we're having to live with someone who's been accused of being a sex offender as the Supreme Justice guy in America, and my country is having to try to deal with Brexit, knowing full well that it was a terrible decision. It was something we were all lied to about, and well, to be honest, I don't think people should have voted on something that they had no information on whatsoever anyway, but it is what it is. This is a year where we've had to kind of try to deal with that. But this is a gaming channel, so let's talk about gaming. Gaming has been very hit and miss this year, in a sense that it started out great. What an awesome start to the year. Far Cry 5, amazing. Monster Hunter World, fucking amazing. God of War, one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. Phenomenal game, utterly phenomenal game. And then, when that was all done, E3, as an Xbox fan, was tremendous. That Halo Infinite trailer, I'm excited just talking about it. That Halo Infinite trailer was so perfect. That slightly classic art style, but with a real cleanup. That beautiful classic environment. The music that played. The fact that Chief was going out there. The mystery. The fact that Chief was kind of exploring this mysterious world to go find his teammates. Oh, it was awesome. It was amazing. And then, of course, we had Gaming Season, which was great, and where the kind of suck came through in regards to the fact that we had Spider-Man PS4, Tomb Raider, Shadow of Tomb Raider, Forza Horizon 4. Call of Duty was actually pretty good, and Red Dead Redemption was probably the best game ever made. But of course you had Battlefield 5, which is a huge letdown, and Fallout 76 which was an even bigger letdown. But I think also the community was terrible this year. I think, we stood up for what we sort of should have stood up for, but Black Ops 4 not having a campaign is a lot worse than having a woman in a war game. And I think that the community just kind of went to shit this year. I've turned into a bunch of crybabies, and the industry wasn't much better. The industry didn't cope with criticism very well either, and I don't think that's very good, and that's something we need to work on next year. But anyway, that was my year of 2018. If you want to let me know about yours, go ahead, and I'll see you next year.